Good morning and welcome to the Brick by Brick podcast with Ronald Paulius. We are getting ready in many ways for the new year. 2025 is right there on the horizon, and we begin to see the light that's shining, the sun. And a lot of people will allow the year to happen to them. What I mean by that is people will just take things a day at a time. They won't make goals. They won't plan. Now, don't get me wrong. People plan their day. They know they have to go to work at this time. They know they get off at this time. They have to eat at this time. And they have to have that appointment and meet up with that friend and this and that. And people plan their day, but they don't plan their life. They don't take time to look at the bricks they're laying to see where it's taking them, to see where it's headed. Many people don't take the time to reflect and see and ponder about the life they're building. When I say people are letting life happen to them, they're the ones that get to the end of 2024 and they will say, I don't know what happened this year. I am the same person in every way at the end of the year, just like I was at the beginning of the year. They have the same problems, the same hurdles, the same setbacks, the same issues, but I'm not talking to those people. You who are listening, you're not one of those people. I can tell because you're listening to this podcast. You're of the group of people who are wanting to take actions. You're of the group of people who are wanting to lay specific bricks that will build the future you're dreaming of, that you're wanting. You're part of the crowd that gets to the end of the year, and instead of saying, I don't know what happened that year, where did it go, you say, wow, I got a lot accomplished that year. Wow, I did way more than I thought I could or would. Wow, I can't wait for the next year. There's no dread in your voice. There's no dread upon your eyes as you look upon the horizon. No, you're of the crowd that says, "Yeah, I'm going to take on 2025." And so, I thought I would share on this day in this episode some books that have been instrumental in reframing thought for me and giving me great paradigm shifts that have helped my mind process clearly and more efficiently. I thought I'd share books that would help you as you're building the future you want, brick by brick. Now, do not take these books, listen to them, read them, and then don't take action. No, these books, if you take in the knowledge and put that knowledge to action, you will realize a difference. Some of these books are fiction. Here's just a story that I think is a great fiction story you should just go through at least once. Some of it is about mindset. Some of it's about money. Some of it's about life. But in each of those books, you will find some principle you can take and implement immediately in your life. And so, let me go over these books and you can take the time to read them, take the time to listen to them on your commutes. Let's go. So, the first book is Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson. Classic parable that shows the importance of adaptability and flexibility. It's a classic. It's a great one to read to your kids. They'll laugh, they'll enjoy it, and you'll realize the oomph behind the book itself. The second one is I Moved Your Cheese by Deepak Malhotra. This is a response to Who Moved Your Cheese, and it pushes readers to not just react to change, but to shape it. And that is so vital. So many people are living reactionary lives. Everything that happens to them, they then take action instead of making the changes that are needed in the first place, instead of preemptively giving the strike, instead of shaping it, they're just responding. And so that's a great one. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Book breaks down how our emotions and belief about money shape our financial decisions. This was extremely insightful for me as a first-generation American. Mom is from Haiti. She's an American citizen now, but she didn't grow up with learning how to budget. She didn't grow up with learning how to make every dollar go where she wants it to go because she grew up poor. Every single dollar came in, went right back out because it was needed to sustain life, food, shelter. There was no or very little pleasure. I remember my mom telling me that she would have one new shoe for the school year, and that shoe would go on to be used for the next school year and the next school year. She wasn't privileged with hey, here's 10 shoes for the whole school year. No, she had one. And so the Psychology of Money has shaped me because it helped me realize, okay, I had beliefs about money given to me by my mom that I needed to break, I needed to change, I needed to adopt new ones. And so very, very helpful. Soundtracks. The Surprising Solution to Overthinking by Jon Acuff. This book is phenomenal. I've probably gone through it 5 times. It is. Joanna, my wife, has gone through it. It is so practical. It is extremely insightful. And I commend it to your reading because it will help if you put it into action. It's revolutionary. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Small, consistent actions compound over time into massive results. This book was the impetus for why I started my real estate journey this year. I read that book and I said to myself, I'm just going to take action. Small, consistent. It's the reason I made this quote, consistent action. This is a quote I made for myself this year. Make the good in small actions and watch the results compound. And they have compounded, and they will continue to compound. And now I'm still taking small actions, but now I'm able to take big ones. But I couldn't get to the big ones without first making the small ones. And so, Compound Effect, commend it to your reading. Read that one. Atomic Habits by James Clear. He talks about and breaks down the science of habit building in a very simple way. Really, really good read. He talks about how it goes into your mindset. If you're wanting to run a marathon, you have to start with realizing and saying to yourself, okay, I'm a runner. I'm a jogger. I'm a marathoner. And once you believe and know, okay, this is part of who you are, this is what you do, then you'll take actions to start to do it. So even if you start to jog here and there, you can start saying, okay, I am a jogger. And then that kind of helps fortify that into your identity. And so really good. Grit by Angela Duckworth. This book right here is, it was my 23 book of the year. So powerful, so profound, great insight. She argues that passion and perseverance are the true indicators of success. So rich. Another one is Your Future Self Will Thank You by Drew Dick. This book combines psychology and faith-based insights on self-discipline. Really solid. Liminal Thinking by Dave Gray. He teaches how to change your beliefs to create real change. And he also helps you realize that other people, if you had the back end of other people's beliefs, meaning you had their understanding, you had their insights, you had their experiences, you would make the same logical conclusions they've made. And so it's really insightful in helping us also see or attempt to see where other people come from and why other people make certain decisions and how we can better work with others and also think about our thinking. Another great book, probably top 5 in my all-time favorites, is The Call by Os Guinness. Finding and fulfilling the central purpose of your life. This book is more on the why. So many people are living without a why. And I'm a Christian, and I have a why, and that why is Jesus Christ. And so I thought to myself, well, I need to insert a book that gets people start to thinking about purpose, because it's needed. It's needed. It's so needed. Another book, 2 books here, Essentialism and Effortless by Greg McNown. Those are 2 different books, 2 separate books, but both of them are amazing. They talk about the philosophy of doing less but better. And so you start to think about how a lot of people have schedules that are just busy doing things, but they're not doing important things. They're not doing vital things. They're not doing things that push the needle. It's just things that they can, at the end of the day, say, I did something. And these 2 books kind of help you narrow down and say, actually, these are the most important things that are moving the needle, that are helping me lay the bricks I need to lay to build the future I want, brick by brick. Classic series right here. This is 7 books, but they're 7 really good books, and they're fun. The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. It's full of wisdom, full of growth, full of character development. Your kids will love it if you have them. You'll love it. Get into fiction. It brightens your world. It has a possibility to, at least. Another book I would commend to you is Invisible Influence. This book talks about the unseen factors that shape our lives and behavior. And this book was instrumental for me in thinking about why I do the things I do, essentially, and how different things shape me and how influence works. Another book, Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl. He reminds us of resilience and finding purpose through hardship. Another book is Living Life Backward by David Gibson. You have to think about your end and then make plans. So many people live day to day and they don't realize and think to themselves that you're going to die. We all will. Let's not hide it in a bush and never think about it. Let's confront it and say, okay, I have limited time here on this earth. What am I going to do with it? And this book is insightful in that way. Another book I'd recommend to you is Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. Teaches how to clarify your message so you can reach more people. Have you ever gotten on a website and there was no clear message? They did all of these things, but they didn't really say what they can do for you. They didn't really say or give a clear call to action. They didn't really communicate what's next. And so that Building a Story Brand is phenomenal. And then I commend to you a book that's been instrumental in my real estate journey, and that is Wealth Without Cash by Pace Morby. He talks about different creative strategies you could use to build wealth through the vehicle of real estate. Check out these books. I'll probably do another episode like this where I talk about books that have shaped me. I know I gave you 17. Well, I really gave you about 24 because Chronicles of Narnia is 7 books. But start with 3, start with 5. Several of those are on Audible. If you have a library card, you could most likely get the Libby app and listen and check out library books through an app and listen to them. They're really worth the read. And like I said, they were extremely influential and shaped my mindset and thoughts tremendously, especially the compound effect. Oh, so good. Jim Rohn, he said, "You're not a tree. You're not planted and stuck in that particular spot the rest of your life. Get up," he said. Change. And in order to change, you have to get the knowledge you need. And not just that, you got to take action. And so don't read all of these 24 books and do nothing. Don't get water on your soil and not grow. Don't. So my question to you is, what are you doing to build the future you want, brick by brick?